In other news, in a big move, the Union Finance Ministry has taken its decision to compulsorily retire top-ranking bureaucrats. Sources say that the ministry has evoked Rule 56J to compulsorily retire them and added that complaints against the officials range from corruption, extortion, and the acquisition of movable and immovable assets that were not disclosed to the proper authorities to even sexual harassment and illegally stopping the promotion of his colleagues. All right, let me get in further perspective on this. I'm joined by Akash Jindal, economist, on the phone line. Mr. Jindal, many thanks for joining us. Your first reaction on this very big move, a big rejig taking place in the finance ministry, and rather a stern message really being put across by compulsorily retiring 12 top bureaucrats in the ministry.
See, I think the message which is being clearly seen is wants to clean the administration, and an administration which is bureaucrats are very good and performing very and message.
All right, Mr. Jindal, we are going to be connecting you again. There seems to be a bit of an audio connection at this point, but let's just take you through the details of what is really happening in that major rejig that is taking place in the finance ministry. A big move and a rather stern message that is being put across. The central government has reportedly compulsorily retired a dozen senior government officers, which includes a chief commissioner, principal commissioners, the commissioner of the income tax department, and this by invoking Rule 56J of the general finance rules. In fact, some of the officers were embroiled in many cases of corruption, sexual harassment and disproportionate asset. Let me quickly get in a word here. Akash Jindal back with us on the phone line. Yes, Mr. Jindal, go ahead. Do you see this as a stern message, a very clear message that those involved in corruption, those involved in cases of sexual harassment will be booted out this way?
I think it's a very clear message to the public, to the people of this country and to the officers that in case you're accused of corruption, sexual harassment or any wrong thing, in case your conduct is not good, the accusation on you is that your conduct is not good, then the action will be taken against you. So the message is clearly being sent out to the people, to the bureaucracy, to the government employees, that you have to be clean. You have to have a clean image, and unclean people or people who have accusations won't be tolerated. See, now we are a globally relevant country. See, now globally, when I say globally relevant, we are the 6th largest economy. Shortly we are expected to be the 5th largest economy. So now, practically what we are doing is we are competing with the Americas, China, Germanys of the world. So now we have to have an image which matches these countries. Now we want foreign direct investment. Now we want FII investment. So only once we have a very clean image, once we have a very transparent image, once we have an image of the bureaucracy which functions properly, which functions fast, which helps businesses, which generates employment, then only would we keep on continuing, and then perhaps we can outpace other economies. Because as of now, maybe we may be targeting a 10% GDP growth. Maybe we may be targeting being the 3rd largest economy in another 10 years. And with Mr. Modi at the head of affairs, one thing is very sure, he is a person who wants growth, he is a person who wants performance, and he is a person who wants to give clean administration.
Okay.
And this time the best thing is that our Prime Minister is having numbers. So the numbers are there, so he has the power to take, I would say, to think big and to take action. So he has the power to take big decisions and to implement those decisions. And that's what was required in this country. So I think it's a good move, it's a big move, and message is being clearly sent to the people.
Absolutely.
Though I wouldn't go into the details of each officer since I'm not aware whether these are accusations or something has been proven or not. That I'm not aware. But definitely I think the message should be sent across to the world and the public in large that India is there to perform, India is there to deliver, India is there to compete, and India is there to give us clean administration, clean bureaucracy, a bureaucracy which wants to deliver, which wants action to be there, and there's no place for corruption in India, and there's no place for those people who want to do wrong things.
Absolutely.
That's the message.
Absolutely. Mr. Jindal, as you pointed out, this is being seen as a major cleanup drive. Yes, this is being seen as a major cleanup drive. But do you believe or do you expect this particular thing to be taken up in other ministries as well? There has to be a cleanup, holistic cleanup that is required at this point. All the tainted bureaucrats, top bureaucrats we're talking about, should be booted out this way in every ministry and not just in the finance ministry.
Yes, I totally endorse you because other ministries are also equally relevant. And if we see the news flow for the past 4 or 5 years, we have been seeing accusations of corruption on various government employees. Wrong or right, I can't say, but there have been lots of accusations of corruption. Particularly, it has been really disturbing for me when huge FDI proposals came into this country. They kept on languishing for 2 years, kept on getting the files went from one babu to another babu, one table to another table, and ultimately those proposals, they went back because they were not cleared. I think now the country is paying the price for that. Now we are in a position where we are not in position to offer employment to our millions of people. Our GDP growth has come down. So I'm not talking on which party's regime it happened, but this has happened earlier. That lots of proposals, because of delays, because of red tapeism, and the country and the common man has suffered. So I think overall of the bureaucracy, irrespective of the departments, is very important so that the message is clear that India wants to respect clean bureaucrats. India wants to respect those bureaucrats who want to give us growth. We have full respect for our bureaucrats who believe in growth, clean administration, but the one who would come in the way of development of this country, they won't be spared. This is the message which should go clearly because now we are comparing with the top economy. We are competing with the top economies in the world.
Absolutely. So the message has been sent out loud and clear for the moment, Akash Jindal. Many thanks for joining us with your perspective.